Wanna talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You wanna talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk.
Welcome back, my friends. It's time for Talk to Solomon. We have the whole crew here today. In studio, we have Chief Steve. Via Skype, we have Jessica Bradshaw, our guest of honor, of course, Major General Jerry Curry. And General, you were about to make a statement here when we went to the break.
If you destroy the military, then you are able to control the people. You're able to control the citizens of the country. You're able to control all that goes on in this country, like this mess that we've got now with the AP and all of that sort of stuff on the internet. If you get rid of the military's job is to protect the people from against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now we're looking at a mess of domestic enemies that we need to be protected from. And so how do you protect the people? You have the military as the final back. You know, the buck stops here, the buck stops there for the military, protecting America, protecting our people, protecting our country, protecting our Constitution. That's where it stops. When I went on active duty, my hand went up and they said, you know, you swear allegiance to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I said, yes, I did. And I spent my life doing that. But right now, I get the feeling watching what's going on around our country is nobody is concerned about protecting the people, and nobody is concerned about protecting the Constitution of the United States. This is some kind of an evil game that these people are playing, and it's for their benefit, not for the benefit of the United States of America.
Well, yeah, that's. I hope it's not prophetic, but I certainly think it's brilliant, because I believe that the military is the cavalry. Think of it in olden days when things were going badly, whatever it was, you wanted to hear that bugle, and here came the cavalry, because the cavalry would always defend the people. Well, can you imagine if you hear the bugle and the cavalry is coming to attack the people?
Yeah, you don't know who they're coming to defend. Is it you or is it themselves?
Well, that's what I think is there. Jessica?
You know, I was thinking about, you know, what is it that this government is doing? And basically, they are attacking virtue. And I don't know which one of the founders, I want to say it's Adams, but I'm not, don't quote me on it, said, you know, that this country and its constitution would only work with a moral and virtuous people. And what this administration, their agenda is to destroy that virtue. And they can do it in the military, just as you mentioned, you know, through homosexuality, through deviancy, through drug use. Let's break the military down. An honorable group of individuals, men and women, who, when they join, give up of themselves and their families to protect the country that they love. But that's not enough. They have to destroy that stronghold and make them unvirtuous, so that at that point they will agree, they will comply with any unvirtuous order. And so we have that occurring not just in the military, but in society in general. And unfortunately, that is what their agenda is. It is attack the virtue, attack the morality, the structure, the godliness of an individual, so that therefore we will succumb, submit, and agree to an evil agenda, or whatever it may be. You know, agree to give up our rights, our freedoms, and that's unfortunately what we're seeing. And we need people to be strong and not put up with that, especially within the military.
General, I want to ask you about Iran. An Israeli report came out saying Iran is trying to set up where they can not have a nuclear weapon, but they can mass produce them and produce 2 or 3 every single month and build a nuclear arsenal. Once Iran is equipped with a nuclear arsenal, there's nothing you can do, and that's what their feeling is, and they can do what they want to do. And of course, people don't understand. Iran represents what is it? Shia. The Shia side. Well, yes, the Shia side of the Muslim faith. Saudi Arabia represents the Sunni side of the Muslim faith. Those two fight together, but bottom line is they'll argue with each other and even kill each other, but they want everyone else either converted or dead. That's the reality. Once you have nuclear technology in Iran's hand, you know that Saudi Arabia will buy nuclear technology so they can counter that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what their intention is. They intend to end up a nuclear power in the Middle East. I don't know whether you caught it or not, but a couple of weeks ago, Saudi Arabia came out and said, we will not tolerate having a nuclear Iran. If they go nuclear, we are going to counter that. And to counter that means Saudi Arabia will have its own nuclear weapons. And so what we may end up with is a nuclear weapons arms race throughout all of the Middle East because of Iran. And Iran has to be stopped. And we know that our president, if he draws a bright red line in the sand, it will amount to nothing. But either Israel or we or somebody is going to have to go to the place where we bring them up short and we destroy their possibility of manufacturing 3 nuclear weapons a month.
Now, Russia, and you can comment on this, please, has basically said Assad will not fall, and whatever you might do, America, to arm the Al-Qaeda, and the Al-Qaeda are Sunnis, we will arm and, by inference, protect Iran and Syria. So we're talking, unless I am adding it wrong, World War III that this president of ours is pushing us into.
Yeah, he's leading us down that road. That is, I don't know if that's where he intends to go, but that's where we are going to end up in an armed conflict of some kind. If we go in and help the rebels, and we are successful in Syria, and we take over the government, and Assad has been destroyed or found hiding behind some cactus or something somewhere, if all of that happens, you know we're going to end up with a government run by the Muslim Brotherhood. And it'll be worse than the Assad regime in all cases. And so there are no good choices open to us or open to the world in the Middle East, particularly around Syria and Assad. And so you've got them doing what they're doing. We know that Syria has used sarin gas, for example. All of this business is going to get worse and worse and worse. And then Iran is still going to be playing with nuclear weapons. Saudi Arabia is going to come up online and say, they may have already done it, but they will come up online and say, for the record, they too will be nuclear armed. This is one of those cases where the less you do, the more this thing gets out of control. And if you decide to really do something, you had better think it through and figure out what is the real smart way to go about it.
Well, I think that, and again, I will have people that will not like this, which is their right. I think that you cannot deal with the devil, and you cannot deal with any Muslim regime, because whatever they say to you is of no consequence to them, and yet they will hold you to do whatever it is you said you would do, and then when it's all done, they'll turn on you anyway. I think the best thing to do is, someone said with Waco, is build a fence around it and let them just take care of each other. What was it? 17 people killed just the other day by one Muslim attacking another there in Afghanistan. And if you put all the Muslims in the world in an area over a period of time, they'll all kill each other, and eventually there'll be none left. I think the world would be better off, but I don't wish any ill on any child or any innocent person. But that's the reality. Since the inception of that faith, it's been all about killing. Their holiest relic is a sword. That's what they're about, killing. You get your reward by killing. What's the surprise here?
Well, there is none. And if you look at Obama's administration, really, he has a kinship with them because their goals are kind of similar. They both, the Muslims and Obama, hate America, and they both want to control the whole world. So if you watch how Obama treats them, it's not like they're the enemy. It's almost like they're a brotherhood, and they have the same agenda, the same goals, the same desires. But one thing that will be good, if we do go to war with them, at least if our homosexual soldiers are captured, at least they'll be treated well, because we know that the Muslims have a great reputation for treating other humans well. So they'll be fine.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of empathy for those people. All right, let me switch the conversation. We have a few minutes left here, General. And
could I ask you a question?
Sure.
Early in the hour, somebody mentioned something about Valerie Jarrett coming from Iran.
Iran, yes, she was born in Iran.
And how did she grow up?
As a communist. I mean, she was never an American. She got here somehow, but her parents came here, but she was never what you would call an American.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Now, and she, of course, has more influence than Michelle on Barack Obama. No one's quite... Well, you have to go back through the families. People in her family are the ones that made Barack Obama, that paid for his education and that type of thing. It's a long story.
Gotcha.
Glenn Beck explained it very well many months ago. I want to talk about Rubio and the immigration bill and what came out the other day, which, if anyone had any thought that this immigration bill has a thing in the world to do with border security, that has got to have gone away, because Rubio said naturalization or legalization is first and border security is second, if at all. Fact. This whole bill, which is being touted as a conservative answer, is nothing but amnesty and a way to secure the Democrats for the next 50 years with majorities, because they're going to legalize 20 million plus illegals who all, and you mentioned, General, will exchange their vote for a stipend, because that's the way they grew up. You give me, I give you. You supply me with food, I supply you with votes. You supply me with jobs, I supply you with votes. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Listen, it used to be that I trusted the Republicans. But lately, with the actions like Rubio, for example, here's a man who is really made his splash on the national scene as a man who will stand up for border security. And here we find him playing the game that the Muslims play, which is when they give talks on the radio, television to Muslims, they speak in a different language, and they give one set of facts. And then when they speak in English on an English language, they give a totally different set of facts. And so that's what our friend Rubio has done. He's gone out and said, under no condition will we find ourselves in the position where we have not secured the borders. First, we will secure the borders. And then, what is it, about 3 days ago, he comes out in Spanish and says,
legalization.
Securing the borders is not something that we have to do. We can let that go down the road. We'll work that out somewhere else. I don't know. I got to tell you, I was disappointed.
Jessica.
Yes, I watched actually the reports, and he did just like the general said. Is they do, or he has flip flopped. If he is speaking to an English speaking network, he will say one thing, and then when he speaks to Univision, for example, he will tailor his comments so that it sounds more, it targets more the Latin community. But I'd like to bring something up because it always comes to mind how individuals might say, well, you all are, male Americans, Anglo, and therefore you're just racist. Now, the fact of the matter is, myself as a Latina, I am around the Latin community, particularly here. My mom, having been here in Missouri for a while, we have a lot of family and friends who are from Mexico or Latin America. And the word on the street is that, yes, this administration, Obama is going to give us citizenship. You hear it constantly. Obama is going to give us, he's going to make us legal. And with that, then come the statements that follow are we are going to get the free health care, the free schooling, the food stamps, whatnot. And this is not just me saying or, leaning towards a stereotype. This is the absolute truth. The Spanish news networks, the Spanish media, newspaper, what have you, tailors their message in such a way that it constantly feeds that information to the Latin community. The handouts, the giveaways, the Obama is going to give you. And, the Major General, he is absolutely right, and you're right when you say if and when this happens, when they receive a citizenship or that path to that, they will vote according to to the party that gave them that favor. It's very true. It's something that we have here at our doorstep. It is not 11 million illegals. It is more than that. And our economy may, in fact, suffer even more if we bring people in, not because they're hardworking and they're willing to work, but because they're looking to get something for free that we cannot afford anymore.
I think that you're, reinforcing what many people have said. And of course, there are those that want to call names, and I learned long ago that most of the name callers feel what they feel, and they have a right to their feeling, but I have a right to my feeling, as Jessica has to hers, and the general has to his, and the chief has to his. Here's the bottom line. Our government, like the Roman emperors of long ago, know that they can control the people by giving them what they want, whether it's letting them watch Christians being fed to lions, or giving them entertainment or food or whatever, that you had to buy the people's favor, but if you bought their favor, they would favor you. Now, General, that's 180 degrees opposite of what our country is based on. And if they let these 15 to 20 to 25 million people become United States citizens, then being a U.S. citizen loses any meaning. And now it's basically a who can get the most out of the toadies in government that know the only way they can stay there is to give people stuff, right or wrong.
Unfortunately, you're 150% right at all. We're in that position. That's what's going on. We're talking about trading power. We're talking about trading control of the American citizens. We're talking about bribing the illegal immigrants, for example. And this is bribery. That's all it is. Yes, we're going to give you whatever we have. You look at food stamps. We have more people on food stamps right now today than we have ever had in the history of this nation, and it's growing. Month by month, it's growing. And so a few people who are making a lot of money are dragging the whole population down the road towards supposedly prosperity. This isn't prosperity. This is lying to the American people and giving them the feeling that everything is going to work out fine, and all they have to do is just be around and appreciate it and go and worship their leaders in Washington who provide all of this for them free.
How do we, General, turn this around short of a revolution?
I'm not sure there is a way to do it short of a revolution of some kind. It doesn't have to be a shooting war revolution, but we need some people who will stand up and take a stand and be counted in this mess. And it's really a mess. But you know, I remember back in the days of Jimmy Carter when he came in, and after he had put in 2 or 3 years and was moving toward an election, he said, you know, it's just too hard governing the United States. No one man can do it, and we ought to get rid of the 2 4-year terms and have 1 6-year term, and then the man will never be concerned about re-election. He'll spend all of his time serving the American people. Well, it sounds good and it sounds wonderful, but that is not where he went. He went down the same line that you find in the Democratic Party. And it's very unfortunate, but you know, we'll give them Medicare, we'll give them this, we'll give them that, and whatever it takes to keep them happy and keep them voting and voting for me.
Chief?
Well, Stan, Marco Rubio, it appears might be a racist with his escapade he's on right now, but nevertheless, he is a United States senator. And his job is to use the Constitution to protect the rights of American citizens. And as John Wayne called them, they're not hyphenated Americans. They're Americans of all colors and all creeds. We're all Americans. But now he's going to be using illegal immigrants and give them priority over American citizens to try and get something that he wants. So the General has made some great comments here. Where we need to go is we need to use tactics that they use, not illegal tactics. I'm talking about the left now, because they have a terrible message, terrible, but they're great at promoting what they do. Now they've taken over entertainment, education, and the news media. But we have got to get good at our message, and just like them, be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, and not be afraid of being called names or whatever, and go out there and do what needs to be done to protect this country and the Constitution.
I am 100% behind you, but I want you to understand that with this thug government of ours, when you do that, we're finding the Tea Party groups, the Right to Life groups, the pro-Israel groups, the pro-gun groups, the pro-veteran groups. All these groups are being attacked by our government. Their privacy is being violated. Their records are being shared. They're being attacked. The parents of the Navy SEAL who died trying to protect that ambassador in Libya, they have sued the government because they were attacked. They were attacked. And we are now under attack. I'll go around the panel one more time. General, I believe every American is under attack unless they are a part of the leftist cabal. What should we do?
I don't have the answer. We are under attack, and I do believe that if you're a part of the leftist cabal, you're above attack. But if you're like the rest of us and you just care about the United States of America, you're going to be attacked. And there's no short way around it. That is the way this new government, this new president, this new Congress and Senate have put themselves together. And I don't understand what the problem is with the Republicans on Capitol Hill. Listen, they can do anything they want to do. Don't give me this business about the Senate and all that sort of stuff. We control the House, which means what? We control the purse strings of America. We can take those purse strings on any project, anywhere, at any time, because we run the House. We can take them at any time, and we can force our way to get whatever we want. We can make the senators get on their knees and cry for mercy. We can make the White House do the same thing. We got a lever. The lever is what? It's money, 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 and we ought to control the purse strings of America. and we shouldn't let the Senate or the White House have anything if they don't come up with what we consider to be reasonable.
Well said, General. On that point, we'll end this hour. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back with Dr. Alan Keyes and Jessica Bradshaw, and the Chief will still be with us. Let me ask you a question. Do you like being sick? I have in my hand an incredible product. It's called TR10 supercolloidal silver. TR10 stands for a trace to the negative 10th power. The particles in this silver product are 6 to 8 angstroms, 6 to 8 10 billionths of a meter. Now listen to me. Silver has been the magic bullet for all of human existence. The Egyptians used silver instruments. We use silverware. They put silver in your teeth because nothing can grow on silver. Silver will kill anything but liberalism. I'm working on that. This product, you go to cpnlive.com, buy 1 quart of this product. It will last you for a very long time. Anytime you feel like you've been exposed to something bad, take some of this product, spray it in your mouth, or take a little bit and gargle it, swallow it. It will kill any pathogen. The average antibiotic kills 10 to 20 different pathogens. This product will kill 700 plus. Do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do your doctor a favor. He's tired of seeing you. Get supercolloidal silver. Go to cpnlive.com, order the product. It's $29.95 plus shipping. I think it's $39.95 delivered any place in America right to your door. It's worth 10 times that. Check it out. If you're not 100% happy, just return it and we'll give you your money back.
For history does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid.
Nations may rise, fall, but an idea lives on.
Lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
History hasn't been easy on America. We've waged war in foreign fields and secured the blessings of liberty. But history isn't simply the story of our triumphs. It's also the story of our struggles. And we are no strangers to hardship. Each generation of Americans is tested, and we're entering a time of tribulation, disappearing jobs, disappointing politics. But beyond that lies the second American century, a new golden age. Our generation is being called not to win a revolution, but to preserve one, to recall the source of the blessings of liberty before liberty is squandered by those who do not understand that it can be lost forever. We are being called to declare that the principles of our founders are timeless, not temporary, to decide that freedom isn't always comfortable or convenient, but it is always necessary, whether it is in the public space or the marketplace. We are being called to remember simply who we are. When times are toughest, our truest character is revealed. Well, times are tough, and sometimes our politics can seem hopeless. So what do? We do what we have always done, what we're best at.
I fight for freedom.
For our republic.
For my family.
For the free market.
I fight.
I fight.
I fight.
I fight. I fight.
We fight.
I like to eat. You like to eat? We all do. And usually we run to the grocery store, we run to the convenience store, or we have something in the fridge. But power's been out in parts of this country in the last few weeks. We don't know what's going to come down the pike economically. Smart people are putting in food. Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves is a line of foods that you can put away that will last for a very long time. You know, they say eat what you store and store what you eat. This is great tasting stuff, healthy for you, a full line. You go to our website, cpnlive.com, and click on the button for Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves and see all the different things we have. This is good tasting food. It's reasonably priced. It will last. and it's worth its weight in gold if a problem arises. I know you don't think there's going to be anything that goes wrong. Actually, you do. This is smart. This is smart insurance. This is smart preparation. This is smart thinking. You have kids, you have a spouse, you have parents, you have dependents, you have an appetite. All those things can be addressed by a frugal but smart investment in Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves. Try them out. You will be tickled to death with the taste of them. And you know what? In many cases, people start to eat this and they think, heck, this tastes better and costs less than what you're going to the grocery store to buy. CPNLive.com. Check it out.